So we would have looked at a lot of different feedback where customers talk about onboarding, they talk about features, they talk about how likely they are to buy again. Not all of these have the same importance. We need to put it into the same level of put it into the right priority. How do you do that? Let's take an example of this customer feedback. This is a person who has used a mobile app and has given this feedback. So I'll read it out. I love the product features and super quick onboarding, but the great experience did not continue while using your product. Your support teams have been helpful, but I'm not sure whether I'll buy again. So the customer talks about a variety of things. So how do you place this and what action do you need to take? A useful framework for that is this 6-step customer journey. Most products, most brands have this. So when a customer hears about a particular product or a brand, they do the discovery and they start doing some research around it. And then they collect details in order to make a decision. That's where they get into the second stage of trying to select and make a purchase decision. Once they decide, then there is an onboarding phase. And then whenever they encounter issues, they reach out to customer support and get it resolved. And then there is a product usage phase, which hopefully should be the longest. And finally, we have the repurchase or reorder stage. Once they're done with that, they need to decide what next, or should they buy the product again. So this standardized journey step is pretty useful. You can customize it a little bit, but when you look at the flow of a customer, you need to place them in this journey step. So now let's look at how you can do that. There are several ways to place feedback onto the journey step. It could be based on customer. When you have new customer versus an existing customer, there's an easy way to distinguish. So directly separate them. Or it could be based on the channel. There is customer feedback coming in through the call center, which means you can be sure what stage it is already falling into. But when both of these are not sufficient, you need to look at the content. The content is extremely important, has a lot of details about it, the data and the metadata. So this is where you need to apply analytics and then find out what is the customer really talking about, which journey step does it fall into. Let's take the same example, the same feedback we just saw, and if we have to place this feedback into the 6 journey steps, how do we do it? Firstly, we separate and split this into 5 fragments rather here. So we have customers talking about different aspects. When you separate the fragments, then you can start placing them. The first one is talking about the identify feature, loving the product features. Second one is where the customer was onboarded. The experience was good. The usage of product, this is where the next stage we are talking about, has not been great. And then the customer is talking about dealing with issues and reorder. So there are 5 different aspects the customer is talking about in this one feedback. So now when you have this, we can start finding whether the customer was happy or unhappy about each of these. There are 3 fragments the customer seems to be happy about. One, they're unhappy, the other is in between. If we just do a simple math of mostly positive feedback, you might say that this is above average and be happy about it, but no. When you look at the journey steps, it says that the customer has not been happy about usage of the product, which is an important one. And they are iffy about the reorder phase, which is extremely important for the brand. So the 2 most important ones which matter to the brand more than anything else, the customer is not happy about. So this is the revelation that you get when you start splitting it into customer journey steps.